There's not a lot of paid mods within Creations as of yet, but one I think is definitely worth your money is the mod called D.E.R.E.K. Now this mod adds a companion on top of your normal companion, so you can have two at once, but that's not the main selling factor. What I think gives it its value is, one, it's very affordable. It's only priced at 300 credits. So say you bought the Trackers Alliance quest and you have that 300 credits remaining, that money would be very well spent on this mod. And two, I think this mod is extremely professionally done. The character of D.E.R.E.K has absolutely tons of dialogue to him, and he fits in perfectly within the Starfield universe. He interacts with the storyline very well without disrupting the lore at all, and is actually a very interesting character to go exploring with. But you know what? Let's hear from D.E.R.E.K himself and see his own introduction into the game, and kind of give you a feel for how this mod would play out.
Dan, is that really you? I knew it was you. Say, Dan, take me with you. I need to see the universe and have some adventure. And if I know Dan, I know that to you, adventure's your bread, excitement's your butter, and danger, why, to you, that's like strawberry jam to top it off. I want a fun sandwich, Dan, and you make the best. Woot woot! Spin my nipple nuts and send me to Mars. This is gonna be exciting.
Disclaimer, this product is programmed not to cause unnecessary harm to innocents or commit any crimes. As laid out by Michael Street Mentioner's seminal work, How to Cope and Survive on a Desert Island with a Stock Cube and Your Best Friend Who is a Chicken Called Dave. Or solve your social, emotional, or theoretical problems, such as your own worth within the ever-expanding universe. This product is provided as intended for use as described within the product description manual, and the manufacturers cannot be held accountable for any malfunctions, errors, injuries, or atomic catastrophes caused by user misuse. Or any divine intervention of theoretical or actual deities that may or may not exist to control the actions of life within the universe as we know it, which this company at the time of writing is not affiliated with.
Let's see how he plays out in combat
Are
situations.
there any
So
museums here, Dan? I love museums.
he definitely wants to go to a museum. I'm gonna have to take him to a
This
museum.
place
There's a
looks
couple.
dangerous, Dan.
And he recognized that this was a hostile environment and called it such, which I think is perfect. He seems to have environmental triggers and knows what is going on around him. So he interacts, well within the gameplay itself. Like, he knew this was a hostile environment, and that line triggered.
Wait.
Wow, that's impressive.
I love the little computer glitch he did there at the end. Now here I'm crafting, and he's going to be a regular chatty Cathy coming up.
Try not to touch it. Especially the big red buttons. Big red buttons. No, Derek. Resist the temptation. Do machines have temptations? I'm calculating right now what would happen if I press that button over there. Is that temptation? Makes you think, doesn't it? Hey, wait. Am I thinking? I think, therefore I am. I think, therefore I am. Wow, I think I'm thinking.
That little chain of dialogue is like I absolutely loved it. It kind of fits a lot of like the sci-fi theme with AI in that, but in a lot more light-hearted manner than normally how we see AI depicted in science fiction. So like I absolutely loved that little chain, and that just occurred while I was on my ship just crafting medical supplies. He just started spouting off, which this robot is a chatty Cathy.
This place sure is,
Everything is in motion. In this universe, everything is in motion. Planets, galaxies, stars, rocks, and even dust are all continually moving. We too are moving, even when we are standing still or sleeping or sitting in one place. Want to know how? Well, you may not be showing displacement on the surface of any planet, but that planet is continually moving. So when you look through the universe, you have covered about 20,000 kilometers of the universe in a minute, while sitting, standing, or sleeping.
And then he just comes at you with those scientific facts. I think it's absolutely great. And it so well fits the theme of Starfield and science exploration and space exploration. Just amazingly well done dialogue on this robot. I feel like in a lot of respects that this companion is a lot better written and has more substance and content than a lot of the different companions within the base game. And you're going to see that coming up ahead with his landing dialogue. There's going to be a nice little comparison between the Adoring Fans landing dialogue and then D.E.R.E.K's landing dialogue in the clip coming up ahead. I hope you enjoy it. I definitely enjoyed it when I heard it.
Touching down on a cloud. Your landing skills never cease to impress.
in such a vast universe, it's a credit to the persistence of evolution that life exists at all. I guess that it can't afford to be fussy.
But not only does he make those interesting science comments throughout your gameplay with him, but he'll also comment on the storyline itself, which I have to assume as a writer, this has to be difficult to do, to basically weave commentary into the story without disrupting the story. But he does, like the author of this mod does exactly that. And we're going to see up in the clip up ahead where D.E.R.E.K will give an interesting perspective on the artifacts itself. It doesn't disrupt the lore at all of the game, but it does add questions for the player who may be playing this the first time through that maybe they should be asking.
Hi, Dan. What do you need? You know what, Dan? Dan, do you ever wonder if finding these artifacts is the right thing to do? I mean, how do you know that they aren't dangerous? How do you know that they aren't designed to do something terrible or catastrophic? They're either something bad or the components of a hyper-transgalactic coffee table.
But not only will he comment on the storyline itself, but he'll also comment on the fellow companions you have with you and provide some interesting perspective, a lot of which I actually did agree with in his analysis of the fellow companions I have traveling with me. And I thought it was very enriching to the game to have D.E.R.E.K commenting on the other companions like that.
This place sure is, interesting. Mind? That's very kind of you, Dan, to refer to my processors and mainframe as a mind. Well, Sarah sure is determined. Woo-wee, if that girl doesn't get her way, someone will pay. Hey, that rhymes. I'm a poet and I didn't know it. Oh, I did it again. Let's try a third time. The wonderful thing about toast is it's often enjoyed the most, with butter and jam and maybe some crams. Oh wait, that would be gross.
So I'd just like to state I've only shown a small fraction of the dialogue within this mod. So this mod is extremely professionally done and is well worth the $3 in cost. And it's going to add a lot of dialogue, and it's going to just make for an overall better experience for the player with this companion, because he does say very insightful things, humorous things. He can be goofy at times, and sometimes when you're doing the mundane, he'll just chime in with these really deep dialogue choices that kind of make you think a little bit, and he fits perfectly into the Starfield universe without disrupting it, and perfectly in a science fiction theme. And I would say if you have a little bit of money, you're looking to buy a paid mod, the D.E.R.E.K mod is like, it's a very good mod. This companion is on par with any of the Constellation companions as far as the amount of dialogue and how well written that dialogue is. And not to mention, the voice acting is done spectacularly well. So there's that. I would say definitely pick up this mod. It is well worth your money.